Well, it's that time of the year again when we think of Easter, but this time of the year I always thought of Palm Sunday, and one of the reasons is my dad was not a very good Catholic, not a very religious Catholic. Uh, didn't go to church on Easter, but very rarely did we miss Palm Sunday. And that's because my dad loved to get the palms, because he would make these really incredible crosses that I got some palms and I thought I'd find all kinds of videos on how to make crosses like this, and there was nothing that made these kind of stylized crosses that my dad showed us how to make growing up. And I'm not a Catholic anymore. I'm Protestant, but I thought I'd buy some palms for my church this Palm Sunday. I brought them home and um, figured anybody can celebrate Palm Sunday. You don't have to be Catholic. But one of the things that I really loved about these crosses is that the way my dad made them, you could kind of hang them like this, and they would have all kinds of interesting twists and turns. And when they dry, they came out really beautiful. So you'd make them when they're green, but you could always hang one on the rear view mirror of the car. You snap that little button so that you don't get the glare when it's at night. Uh, Put that little tip in there and snap it, and it would stay there until next Palm Sunday. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and after some practice, you'll be able to bring those palms home on Sunday and make these crosses yourself. Okay, so here's how you make a palm cross. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you with this piece of paper how you get the initial form. Now, the palm that you're going to use is going to be about this size, but it's going to get longer this way, and it'll end flat this way. It'll be about this width, about a ½ inch wide, and this is actually a piece of paper, so it's 11 inches. So figure 11 inches for the actual structure of the cross, but then you'll have a piece of the palm that will go up narrower and narrower and narrower, and you're going to use that for the design that we're going to want to make. But this is the basic form. So you basically take it right in the middle and fold it in half. So you see, then you're going to take this around and fold it again. So you see how you get that like that. And you're going to bring it again one more time around and square it there. Okay, so you see you have basically a square. Okay, now that you have it formed that way, you can bring this one around and slide it through here and lock it. See how that makes a perfect, nice structure. That's how you're going to do that with the palm. It's easier to follow, so you're going to see how you're going to have the front and the back. This is going to end up being the part of the cross, and this is going to be the bottom. Okay, so now you're going to prepare your palm. You're going to get a nice fresh palm. It's going to be nice and green. Some people like to soak them in water, but they're usually pliable when you first get them at church. And you're going to see that there's kind of two palms stuck together. You're going to just carefully split them. Don't worry about the little hairs. You want to have a scissor handy so you can trim it down. What we're going to do is we're going to take that. You see, that's a little bit thicker than the half, but I like this green edge here, so I'm going to leave the green edge. When that dries, it kind of gives it an interesting detail. So I'm just splitting it like this and just taking it all the way. So we have this nice pointy part here, and gets to a little bit more than an inch thick. I'm going to cut this down at the bottom here so it's nice and straight. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty long and a pretty big cross, so we'll try with that first. So like I said, you're going to take about, this is just going to be extra above here. So this is where really where your cross is ending. This is just going to be for the extension of the cross. So you're talking about the midpoint of this, which is going to now be about here. All right, so we're going to fold that in half just like we did. before. You're going to bring this around again, and then around again, and squaring it off. You're then going to take this and bring this through here. But keep it cracking and just bring it through. You see how I'm doing that? Nice, nice, nice and tight. And just get your, so here again you have your nice, strong, squared off. Pull it tight, and you see you have this, which is going to be the cross part, and this is going to be the top part. Okay, so now you're going to get this, and you're going to take this, and you're going to bring it through here. Just work it in. You might want to trim it a little bit, but usually you can just work it in there nice so that it slips through. Okay, a little trouble there when I got it through. Like I said, you can trim it, but try not to. Alright, so again, you have that. You're bringing it and pull it slowly. Now you have that part of the cross. You're now going to bring this back and put it through again. Sliding it like that works sometimes too. See how that's now giving you a nice kind of a bow cross. And you have this again. You could trim this if you want, but sometimes what my dad used to do is a nice little technique. He would just take this and bring it around again, put it in here, and working it in slowly and adjusting it. Probably edit some of this out so you can see how it actually is done. See how I'm doing that? Just working it in. See how that gives that a nice little, have that little thing out there, and you have the cross. So let's work that in a little bit nicer. You can mold it. Now when this dries, it's going to look really beautiful because it dries and turns kind of a beige color. All right, so now you have the cross. Just adjust it, make sure it's staying the way you want. So now you have this part. What are we going to do with that? Well, we're going to take this and come back around this way. Again, carefully. I like to keep that right to the point. You may end up breaking some of that off at the end. Rip a little of it off right now. Give it a little bit more of a square edge. I like to just push it nice. This is going to be the top of the cross. Now you could just leave it like that. That's very beautiful, just the way it is. See? Kind of big, but I like to come back around again backwards and put it through here again. This place where you can hang it like that, pin this. You can actually, what some people will do is they'll take this and they'll put it in their rear view mirror, that place in the rear view mirror where you flip that little switch to stop the glare at night, You just snap that in there and it holds it, and then it dangles just like that. Can make a few others, and then we'll edit this and show you how another one is done. Okay, now you can see this one is probably about almost 6 inches long. So I'm going to do a much smaller one. Okay, so here we have your, what we're going to do is we're going to just take this, and I'm going to take a much thinner spot, and we're going to take about, there you go, see? It's a little less than a half of an inch. This for me is the perfect size. You have, the way it came through, you have a narrow end and wide in the middle. I like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and do our standard fold. And that's kind of tricky, so okay, then you're going to bring this back through here, take this through. It's coming loose, but we're going to make it all make sense once we tighten it up. So we're going to get that through there. See, once you got that and you're holding it, see, you're sliding it through, you're holding it, boom, got it. See, nice and tight, not going anywhere. And you have your form now, so now you can do whatever you want with this. But what we're going to do is going to look here on the back. We have a place where we can slide this through. Slide it back through. This is a little thick, so you're going to work with it. I think I'm just going to snip that one only because it's a stiff piece of just keep that in the back. Then we're going to take this nice and long and pointy, and we're going through the same back piece. Just going to slip that through, almost like threading a needle. Push it through. If you do it with confidence, you'll get the tip through. You have it. You see, I didn't intentionally twist it, but that's kind of nice to leave it twisted. If you wanted, you could go back and turn it so it's not twisted. But twisted is good. Get a nice little effect there, see? With the twist. If you come back again, so that's going to be the head of the cross now. Come back again going back through the same. Sorry, my printer's printing something. This little background noise of the printer while we do this. See, it's good. I twisted that one too. I guess I could say I did that on purpose, but I really didn't. Slide this through here. There you go. See how pretty that is? Kind of more of a rounded cross. Nice, and you could hang that with the long string. And keep that one's a keeper. We're going to keep that one. We're going to do another one. This is a nice size, and it has the green edge. The whole length of the palm. Take it. Half. In half when you're measuring from the thick one. You don't count that long, narrow part, but you're going to use that. Over, under, bring this round under your finger. Sorry, I keep going off the camera here, but getting the edge of that, sliding it back through here. like threading a needle with that little thin piece. Loosen it up if you have to. Not going to work. I'm going to have to cut it and make it a little stiffer. Back in here. Got it, see? Make sure you don't twist that because you don't want it to be twisted when you're making your form. Nice and tight. Form. Come back underneath. It's going to be a little wide. See that one? Here's definitely where you're going to want to just kind of make it easier to push through when you narrow it like that. And even though it's a little too wide, that's okay. It'll go through. We're going to pull that down. We're going to make it a really short top because that's what we're going to do now. We're coming back underneath. And really short on the bottom too. Maybe even a little shorter. Okay, so we're going to come back again. Back in this way. Nice. Then we get that, and we can do the same thing again from the back, from where the loop is. This is the back for this one. Slide that through. Make that a little short. Come back again. Make it a little short. Come back again. Very pretty. Again, when these dry, they just kind of take on a life of their own because they're going to bend and change in any way that their structure will make them. But you can see, you can kind of play and mold it, and then again you have the way to hang it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. Okay, I have a nice beautiful green. It's all green. There's no dryness on this one at all. If you happen to get one like this by the time Palm Sunday comes around. Again, you're going to split them down the middle. These you really want to keep that intact. So with this, we're going to just make a cross with the whole entire fern of the palm. So again, you're going to look about where it is the widest, and then, you know, try to find about the center of where the wide part starts narrowing. So you can see I got all of this over here, I got all of this over here, and I'm going to say this is the middle right here. Okay, now we're going to fold that like this. And it's a lot easier for you to see on the big palm. Okay, so there's your first fold. You bring this around. I'm going to do this exactly the same with the smaller ones that are. Okay, so again, it's very simple. It's loose, but you see how it's like that? And you got that edge. Now you're going to fold it again. There's really nothing you're folding it on. So you're folding it kind of on nothing. So make sure you see that. Just to have that square here. Okay, so now you have a square. You have just this leaning over. But you see you have a place here where you can slide something in. So you're going to bring this behind. And you're going to slide this. Again, just get lit up on it a little bit. So you see it's going to come right through here. Very simple. Make sure you haven't twisted it like I did. And you're going to make sure it's flat in the right direction. Again, with these big ones, you can loosen it up a little bit and then grab it back again. Slide it back in here. That it's not twisted. Hold it together. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Okay, when it's snapping on your finger a little bit, you're going to take your finger out. And again, that you can do that with the big ones. The other ones, you kind of just have to hold it there until you can get this tight. So you see how nice that is, and what a nice strong support you have for whatever else you're going to do with the cross. Okay, so with this, again, you see you have this where you can slide this through, and you have this where you can slide this through. So you're always going to, when you're working with this one, you're sliding this way. When you're working with this one, you're going to slide this way. So let's do this one first. We're going to just slide this through here. Try to trim these rather than pulling them, because you never know where they're going to take you. So just trim them if it's getting in the way. Okay, so you can pull that through like that. So you have your one loop already here for the cross. And you want to make that just the right size. Nice little. Well, people like to flatten them out. I like to leave it with a little dimension in it. Okay, again, backwards. Even that out. Okay, you can just leave this here. You can trim it if you want. But just leave it because that's in the back. Okay, now you have this. Now remember, on this one, you're working on this side. Okay, so this is going to end up being the front of the cross. And this is going to go back here. Okay, well actually that would be the back of the cross, so if you want it to be. And you could just leave it just like that. You're going to have a pretty, nice pretty cross as a decoration. Or make that a little shorter. Bring this back this way. Slide it through, it'll cooperate eventually. You'll see the other end comes through. It's just this tiny little thing. Okay, and then bring it down. Ready? All right. I'm going to do one more. I just went to the other extreme now. See, this is already drying out, and a lot of times by the time you get the palm home, you're going to see that it's all white. You still can do it, but you have to be very careful. You might want to put it in water. I don't think it's necessary. You can try to find the middle. Bend. Now, if you bend it and it cracks, you can't use that palm. It's still got to be pliable. Come back over. Once more. So you have that. It's loose. There's nothing holding this together until you're going to put locking mechanism in. It's kind of too long. I'm going to try it anyway. See where I'm sticking it in there? It's like threading a needle. Not going to work. Gonna have to cut it. Alright, don't give up. Slide it through. Let it go, don't let it go. Got it. Ta-da! Hope you saw that. Sorry if I pulled it away from the camera a little bit. Okay, and then get back this way. Back again. Just going to cut this one short because I like when you have a nice clean one like this, and you bring this through like this, and this is really a pretty cross when you do it like this. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom. Bring it back through this way. Steady. Almost got it. As soon as you see it, peek its little head through there. Might have made it too tight. There it goes. See, it came through. Ta-da. So let's make that the top. Make this the bottom. Look how pretty that is. Again, some people like to flatten it, so let's say you flatten it here, squish it, leave that one like that, flatten it here, so you have a nice stylized cross that you can hang. Stick a little push pin in there and hang it on your bulletin board.